video starts, I remembered saying in the last episode that I was going to go over the stats either during that video of editing or before the video starts. So, well, we're going to do the second option. We're going to go over the stats now. We're going to start with Vigor. Vigor determines how much health you have. It increases your HP bar for your, health. Pretty simple. Attunement. Attunement is your mana, or focus points, as they call them in this game, because, that's a reason. It also increases how many spells you can have equipped. Because there's some spells in the game that take more than just one slot. So you will need to up your attunement if you want to cast those specific spells. Endurance is your stamina. Stamina is vitally important in this game. It is one of the stats I highly recommend upping to at least 40 while going through the game. Don't mainly focus on endurance, but increase it, once in a while. Vitality is your carrying weight. Vitality is pretty simple to add. The more vitality you have, the heavier equipment you can wield without having to, how they call it, fat roll or a heavy roll in that sort of sense. Strength is your basic strength is your basic stat. Strength is how you equip, strength weapons such as axes and hammers. Dexterity is increased casting speed and also allows you to wield fast, sharp weapons like katanas or spears. Intelligence is your magic. Faith is miracles such as healing or, spell buffs, if you want to write it like that. And luck is the same in every game. So, there you go. Hey guys, welcome back to Dark Souls 3 with your ex-best friend, aka Tim, and me, Deathbringer, who's just kind of that lonely guy. I like turtles. Yeah, just kind of that lonely guy. Anyways, in the last episode, we went over the tutorial. We went over YourExbestfriend. Today, I didn't want to forget something, so we're going to be going over a couple things. I'm going to have Tim go over a few items while I have to focus on an enemy. But for now, we're going to do the enemy first, and he'll go over the items in a bit. There's an enemy in the back left side of the shrine that is completely optional to fight. You don't have to. But it's recommended if you want to run a dex build or a dexterity user of katanas that you fight this guy. This man, up here, is known as the Sword Master. He's very aggressive, and he's actually considered more of a parry king, if you want. I'm not even going to run that. That's going to fuck me up.
He's kind of a jerk, too. He's very hard to predict sometimes.
Yeah.
And he does ridiculous amounts of damage to new players. He's essentially like a second boss.
He is considered a mini-boss by game standards. Like I said, you don't have to fight it, though.
He's an optional character.
Yeah, well, only basing at 700 health, for some reason, even though he has like no armor, his defenses are increasingly high.
Yeah, it's like he was born from a dragon or something, and he's got like hidden scales somewhere that gives him retarded high defense.
Yeah, killing him will give you 2,800 souls, and you'll get his weapon and his armor. The weapon we'll actually go over right now. So the Uchi Katana, it's a pretty good starting katana in the game. It's not something I recommend going through the entire game with, but however, that is not my decision for you guys. Its base stats are, it's better to apply a sharp infusement, which infusements will go over soon. But it's better to apply a sharp infusement on the weapon to increase its dexterity. Other than that, though, it is a really good starting weapon. I would not recommend using it past one of the higher ranks in the game. So just keep that in mind.
There he is.
Alrighty. Now then, I know Tim's fighting and everything. You can clearly hear him clicking. But we're gonna have him go.
Sorry.
We're gonna hear him go over
I pushed mine off the cliff.
Yeah, we're gonna hear him go over a couple of items. First one being the white soapstone. Go ahead, Tim.
Alrighty, so we're gonna go over just the basic description wise. I'm not going to go through the lore of it or where it came from, how it came to be. I'm just going to explain how the function is, how useful it can be, and kind of some perks and tricks that not a lot of people kind of think outside the box to try to keep himself in a more safer section for being summoned. So one of the things are the white soapstone sign. You put it down, and what happens is if you have a password, you can play with your friends easier if you both have the same exact password on and put down the soapstone sign. It allows them to summon you if the host is embered, which makes co-op way easy than the average games, or like the average other Dark Souls, where Dark Souls 2 you needed to have a ring and you had to compare their names and go off of a soul memory and just a whole line of mass amount of math, which made it very difficult for new players to try to play or even understand how the co-op system worked. Dark Souls 1, there was no passwords. You could spend 2 to 3 hours sometimes, or an entire day, just trying to be summoned, where in Dark Souls 3's new improvement, with their soapstone sign of the password, it can take 2 seconds sometimes. That's how amazingly high they've made an improvement. But some tricks to help keep you alive out there is, if you're in an area that you think might be a high invasion section for PvP, or if you just want to keep yourself safe from just in general being invaded, or a good way to tell if there's a section where someone could summon you or you can summon people is just checking to see if you can place your sign down. It'll be grayed out and darked out if you can't place it in a specific spot, or if you have an invader. The best way to tell if you have an invader is if you have your sign down already. When you start to get invaded, you'll get a notification window that'll say your summon sign has disappeared, or if you walk into like a specific room that doesn't allow summoning it, that'll pop up, which is a good tip to use. That way you can figure out places where you can and cannot be summoned, as well as know if you're going to have another player come in and try to kill you. But with that said, those are just the basics and some tips with the white soapstone sign.
Item number 2 I'll be going over is the Ember. The Embers are very useful in this game. They allow you to have your total health of what it reads on your character card, if you want to put it like that. And it actually increases the total amount of health that you should have. This also allows you to play online to be able to summon people, but you do not need to be embered to place your white sign, which is something I actually like about this game that I don't really care for about, I believe, Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1, because I do remember you have to be human in order to do that. Other than that, though, the Embers, they basically only apply to playing online if you want, or just having an increase of health. They really don't do much.
It's just pretty much like an online Switch.
Yeah. Third item, this one will go back to Tim. We're going to be going over another item that you can buy called the Dried Finger.
Oh, there's some history with this one. So, with the Dried Finger, originally in Dark Souls 1, it didn't work. Nobody knew what it did, and a lot of people that knew what it was supposed to do, nobody really used it. But it was a more of sense that they used it anyways to make them kind of feel better, or kind of give them that sense of feeling that it's actually doing something. Dark Souls 2, it was more of a hit and miss. It was never guaranteed that it was going to work, because it was still kind of being improved. Now number 3, 100% works. Guaranteed works every time, and you only need to use it once until you die, or log out and log back in. Now, with that said, how the Dried Finger works is when you activate the Dried Finger, say for instance, you summon 2 of your friends into your world, but there's a third person that you have that wants to come in and play with you. Well, the Dried Finger will open up that third slot for you to be able to summon a player, but leave you more vulnerable for invaders to come in. Or, if you're by yourself and you just want to do some, quick-paced PvP consistently, use a Dried Finger, and what it does is, for people that are internet nerds, know what an IP pool is. What the Dried Finger does is it forcibly dumps the IP pool and refills it faster, allowing for more players to show up for signs to summon, and allow more invaders to come in, for people that like to do PvP. And that's literally only what the Dried Finger's for.
It's practically a counterbalance.
Yep, pretty much. It's got a perk and a drawback.
The other items I'll go over later because they're there. Right now I want to focus on advancing because we're currently 7 minutes in on this video and we've just been going over items.
We don't want to use too much of our time just talking because not a lot of people like listening to that.
Yeah. Anyways, if you guys watched me through the bonfire, I teleported to a place called the High Wall of Lothric. You will spawn in a kind of just tiny little room. You can run over and open the door, as for some reason it takes the dude 9 hours to open 2 wooden doors. And here lies the first area, the first actual area, which is the High Wall of Lothric. Now I'm going to cut out right here. I'm gonna wait for Tim to show up, and then we will continue with the video. Hey, and I'm back with Tim, whose name he farted.
Hello.
Now I
am he who farted.
I'm going to let you see the name now, but how I'm going to run this is I won't be showing character names. You're just going to be seeing our online ID.
Gamer tags.
Yeah, just don't be trying to, you know, message us and everything. I want to play with you guys. It might not work. Most times I don't.
I mean, focus. I don't mind if you send me a message first, asking, just pre-warning anybody who sends me a direct friend request will be immediately declined. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I get random friend requests, don't know who they are, I ask who they are, they don't answer back. So my rule is I delete anyone who doesn't send me a message first.
Anyways, we're gonna be going this way instead of the other way first because there's an item I want to go over, which is a very, very significant item.
I upgraded my dex and strength so I could use the katana.
Nice. I'm gonna jump down here because...
Ow! Dogs! Dogs! Damn, they're messing me up.
Oh god. I forgot. I can't try to be parrying. Ow!
Shut up, Wes. You don't know the definition of a curse word.
You should not be talking right now.
No.
Anyways.
Gotta love little siblings.
Going up here. Hi, friend. God, I can't parry with shit. I'm sorry. I'm gonna drink this. I'm already done with 3S. That's great. So I'm going to let it happen because I don't want to kill it early. But he doesn't know what he's doing. This guy is called the Pus of Man. This is like from the boss. This is the result. If you have fire, they are of no problem to you. If not, they have very high physical defense. So just be warned on that.
Ow! Holy crap! I am probably gonna die because I have no more Estus left.
Yeah. Ooh, Titanite shard. That works. Anyway, the item we just got, which is the weapon, the longbow.
What are you doing?
Now, you guys know how longbows work. Longbows, or bows in general, are just ranged weapons. In this game, though, bows have a very specific use for them. This game comes with a skill called weapon art, which each item in the game has, excluding, I believe, 1 or 2 items or weapons. In which case, their weapon art is called puncture. Puncture allows you to hit up to 4 targets with 1 arrow shot, meaning if you know how to time your shots correctly, you'll be able to, you know, deal a lot of damage. But however, with each puncture you apply on an enemy, the damage is reduced by 15 points. So, look out for that.
Oh crap. Ow.
You die.
Blah. I need to go allot my Estus.
Okay, you do that. I'll wait for you at the bonfire.
That sucks. And that's what happens in Dark Souls when you make a simple mistake. You die. It really does suck.
So I'm gonna cut out again because, you know, we gotta wait for him. But we'll be back. Alrighty, we're back. I got him and I feel bad because I went and killed a couple things and managed to get a weapon. This one is known as the halberd. So we're just gonna go over that right now, which I kind of don't really care about, but we're gonna do it anyway. So the halberd, strangely enough, for a thrust weapon, it's actually a strength weapon, having better strats in strength than in dex. I'm not gonna say it's bad. I've used halberds in my day of playing Dark Souls, and they're not terrible weapons.
Uh-oh.
But, you know, yeah. The weapon art that this particular halberd has in the game is one called Charge, which is not a weapon art we've gone over yet. Charge is you're basically just dashing at them with, you know, you're just stabbing them with a really fast speed. There's not much to say about Charge. Charge is just kind of, you know, there. I can't explain Charge very well, dude. Like, that's the best I can do.
Ow. Spears hurt.
And, yeah. So I'm gonna be ballsy and run and grab an item up here really quickly. That I'll go over in a bit. Anyways, this weapon I'll actually be running throughout this playthrough.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ow. Ow. Swords. Arrows.
What I just got is the Claymore. The Claymore is your more generic greatsword. How it works in every Dark Souls game, and it will continue to work in these games. It's more of, so don't believe the stats that it says. It does say it has a better scaling when it comes to strength than it does with dexterity, but that is a lie. The Claymore gets significant damage based on if your strength and dexterity are exactly even, which it's kind of more of a hassle in this game than it is just if you want to run like a specific build and you want to run the Claymore as like a, you know, just the weapon you want to hold on to until you get the weapon you want. It's not going to be so in this game, because this game particularly lets you know that if you don't run your stats exactly the same for strength and dex using the Claymore, it's not going to be worth it.
Oh sweet, I got rewarded in Estus. Awesome.
Tim, come with me. The thingy.
Oh, we're gonna, okay.
Yes. Alright, we're gonna go over something really quickly. I'll finish the Claymore up in a bit. So, this game, if anybody's ever played Dark Souls, you really didn't need to do that, you wouldn't take any damage. If you've never played Dark Souls, Dark Souls has specific enemy, and it's easy to tell due to the chain. This enemy is a mimic. And mimics are more of...
Oh shit!
Well,
uh-oh.
Anyways.
Became lunch.
Anyways. Mimics are more of basically kind of... They're not mini bosses. They're just really defensive enemies having some major defenses. And actually, I do believe that a mimic has no weakness. So, you know, you can hit a mimic with whatever you want. You're going to be doing the same amount of damage regardless. You know, nothing you can fix. This one in particular is going to come with an item that I'm going to want, because I'm going to use it for the next boss.
We can go ahead and meet up at that second bonfire.
Yep. This one is the Deep Battle Axe. Now, Deep is infusement, so I'm not going to go over the infusement.
Ah, crap. There we go. I just broke my Dark Souls for a second. I was stuck floating in the air.
Yeah, anyways, Deep is an infusement, so I'm not going to go over the infusement. But I'll go ahead and let Tim go ahead and explain what the Battle Axe is like.
How do I put this lightly? Pretty much the battle axe, it swings almost like a short sword in speed, but does the amount of, depending on what infusement or what level it is, it can do the equivalent damage of a great axe or the equivalent damage of a club, depending on how you have it set for stats. So in other words, it can be drastically overpowering towards staggering enemies to kill them, or it can do intense amounts of damage but not staggering enough to where you would have to dodge every time you do at least 2 to 3 swings. The battle axe has a sword art. I believe every battle axe has this sword art from what I've experienced and seen. Or not sword art, sorry, weapon art is what I mean. And it is called War Cry. Pretty much your character slams their foot down, their body glows red, and it changes your R2 attack to do a special charge forward where you sporadically swing the axe like a... How do I describe it? Like, you pretty much swing it like you're a angry barbarian. You go around, you run into your target, just flailing it everywhere and just doing ridiculous amounts of damage. And aside from that, that's pretty much what the axe is. The axe is pretty much just someone that likes to go around just hacking and slashing everything to pieces while looking like he's tenderizing them with a, well, pretty much a very blunt weapon. That's literally the only way I can describe it as, is tenderizing someone with a blunt weapon.
Speaking of which, what I grabbed after that was a club. Club is the first weapon you'll be getting that does strike damage. The only other time you'll be getting a club at the start of the game is if you have picked the deprived class.
Which is a difficult class to start with.
Yeah, the club itself, it's not bad. It's a very good starting weapon for a strike. However, it's not a weapon I would recommend you running if you want to run a strength build at the start, because the club doesn't really get much of a boost. At plus 10, its scaling for strength only goes at around B, which I'll determine what the ranks even help with when it comes to this game in mere moments. But other than that, the club also has significance as it also carries War Cry, which it has very...
Oh.
Yeah, it has very different War Cries. God damn it, I gotta stop trying to parry with this fucking shield. I keep trying and it's not gonna,
what are we gonna do about this invader?
We'll just kill him.
Okay. Well, at least we can give him a brief example of what an invader is.
Yeah. So.
Oh, he's one of those people.
So.
His buddy boosted him all the way there. Nice.
Mad spirits. How to do a mad spirit. Mad spirits are very weird. They're not your typical invaders. What a mad spirit does is, if you manage to see a purple soapstone sign, and it's not like a dark purple, it's a bright purple, they can potentially fight people for you, but they're also massive trickery, because a purple spirit is still an invader regardless. Red spirits are your typical invaders, however. A red spirit does the same thing a red spirit has always done since day one, which is quite literally just be a red spirit. They're just normal invaders, there's nothing of significance.
This dude is super cocky and he's very annoying. He's very bad at aiming his fire bombs.
I hate red spirits. Or invaders for that matter.
I hope you know, Mr. Invader, that can also hit you too. I don't have fire bombs, otherwise I'd help. Man, he's spamming fire bombs at me and just killed.
Well, he's gonna leave anyway since
jerk.
he killed you, so. Oh no, he's not, because there's no other white spirit.
Yep. Invaders in this game, ever since me, it's S to use. They like to run behind mobs and spam their Estus.
Whoa, he's lag switching.
And then what really kind of, which is kind of a disappointment about it all, is because pretty much since they nerfed the Seed of Giants, there's really no way to keep them from continuously hiding behind your mobs unless all your mobs in the entire area are already dead. Otherwise, it is very difficult to keep them from running away.
Yeah, he fucking spammed me with items until I died, so I'm not... Anyways, those are the invaders of Dark Souls 3. They hide behind enemies and they never actually fight you. So... yeah.
And then they think that they have skill. They'll even send you brag mail about doing that.
Yeah. Anyways, next episode we'll be continuing the High Wall of Lothric, so see you guys.